are. Welcome, everybody. We're grateful that you are here on this beautiful spring morning, and we have a lovely service prepared for you. I'd like to take it over to Tabor and Leo and Dave to send us into the service with some beautiful music.
Yes, good morning. Well, if you're here in service with us and you can stand up, please do join us. We'll sing into this day together. I'm worried about tomorrow. Today I declare freedom from yesterday, mistakes of the past. Today all things are made brand new, and don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should. All is well, all is well, all is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. I can change my reality by changing my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness is yours, and it's mine. I am love, and so are you. And don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should? Sing it out. All is well, all is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. All is well, all is well, all is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. All is well and unfolding as it should. Well, good morning, friends. Why don't you take a minute to greet some of those beautiful neighbors out there? Place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 Well, we're going to invite any of our kids who are here with us today up for our kids program. We got some children out there. Yes, yes. Come on up. Come on up. Get to be outside in this beautiful spring morning. All right, well, let's sing these folks out to their classroom, or their outdoor classroom. It's the best. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and a sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. Got Mother Nature and the human race. Got Mother Nature and the human race.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Wanda Maddox, and your practitioner for today. And I am so grateful to see each one of your smiling faces, knowing that you may have had a plan A this morning, and you may have already had a plan B. But we're going to find out how we get from one to the other and make it our way through, just like you made it here today. And we welcome our virtual audience, and we'll join together now in prayer, please. Just breathe in a moment. Yes, and relax, letting it go, knowing the one Spirit that is alive, awake, alert, and always present within each and every creation. My life, my breath, the first breath of my life, that Spirit within me gave me the opportunity and the knowing, deep within knowing, to take the first breath. And that Spirit is alive in each and every one of us now. And it is always present. And it is always available to show the next best step on our path in the light of love. Knowing that it is gratitude that opens the beautiful bushel basket in me for the joy. Knowing that I am deeply grateful, and I feel the joy bubbles always rising and bubbling and being a reminder of the life and the love and the light on my path. And I release these words into the law, knowing that as I've spoken them, so they are, and join me in saying, so it is. Thank you.
I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. Take comfort as I am. Surrender all need for a plan. Divine presence is always at hand. Take comfort as I am. Take comfort. Take comfort as I am. Surrender all need for a plan. Divine presence is always at hand. Take comfort as I am. I know there's only one moving me to be untethered, undone. I accept this love healing, breathing me whole, and give thanks for it is done. Take comfort as I am. Surrender all need for a plan. Divine presence is always at hand. I am. I know there's only one. I know there's only one moving me to be untethered, undone. I accept this love healing, breathing me whole. I know there's only one moving me to be untethered, undone. I accept this love healing, breathing me whole, and give thanks for it is done. And give thanks for it is done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome again. Welcome to you. So if you're new, my name is Andrea, and I'm one of the ministers of this beautiful campus and place. And all month, my co-minister and I, Reverend Zena, and I have been speaking about when things don't go as planned. It's part of a larger theme that we're working with this year about your soul's journey. And we knew that we needed to talk about when things don't go as planned, because in your soul's journey, that always happens. You may have noticed that. You know, you're going along, and all of a sudden, whoop, wait, I thought I was, no? That's how it feels a lot for those of us on a spiritual path. So today's topic is Plan B. And Plan B actually is kind of a misnomer, because we do really, in the science of mind philosophy, we really do understand that when we've been taken off the supposed course of our life, we have been put squarely into liminality, a liminal space. And those of you who have been coming for a while, you know I love that word because it describes a place that we are often in when we're working with spiritual issues. And so liminality to me is like when the sand meets the ocean and it's not quite shore, but it's not quite ocean yet. It's sort of this slurry of both. That's the liminal space. And when we have been either knocked out of the plan that we thought we were doing, or we've chosen to sort of step out of the routine, the habit, the way, because we've been called to something that we don't even know quite what it is, we enter liminality. We enter a liminal space where the way we were and where we're going and how we will be are not really clear. It's sort of sloppy in the sort of oceanic way, sort of swishy. And in that space, what we understand is that comes with disorientation. Now, for those of you who have just been knocked off your course, this is good news, because you're probably feeling very disoriented, right? I mean, very difficult place when the way you were doing things is no longer available, and yet you don't actually have a plan B exactly. And so it's very kind of slushy. And often in liminal time, in liminal space, there are ordeals. And these ordeals are often perceived from the old self who's over here going, but I'd rather be in the known and the comfortable and not feel this way. They're perceived as ordeals. From the new self seeking to be born, they're perceived as opportunities. But when you're in the slushy place, you're not sure which it is. Sometimes it feels like an opportunity, sometimes it doesn't. And for me, I can remember being in one of those liminal transitional spaces, a really big one for me. And I went to, coincidentally, I was invited to a men's group gathering. They were presenting to the public, and I don't even remember what they presented. It was some sort of mythic thing, because that's what they were doing. And there was a lot of poetry, which I loved. And at the end, they had the audience of all of us sort of share where we were. And I remember saying, I am completely destroyed. And everybody was just silent. And I went, and I also know it's an opportunity. And I did. But I didn't. But I did, but I didn't, on and off, all day long for many, many days. And so that place of liminal creation is not only difficult, but it's also the realm of possibilities and potential. This is where possibilities and potential reside, is in the space between. You know, if you're Irish, most of us, you know, the Irish were very prolific. Speaking as one who knows, you know, in my country of origin, the space between was like where you tried to get, not where you tried to avoid, because in there was all the possible, all the potential for anything and everything that could happen. It was delightful and magical and powerful. So in this realm of possibility and potential, this is actually where the science of mind philosophy is seated. It's where the philosophy takes people. Why? Because in its origins, what it was seeking to bring forward out of the tremendous teachings of world religions was that there is something that is bigger than us and yet resident within us. And it has within it the realm of all possible realities. All possible, all potential lies within that larger self that inhabits us, or maybe it'd be more accurate to say we inhabit it, but it's a reciprocal relationship. You following me? And so here in this place, let's say you get a diagnosis, but you haven't gotten it yet. You've been sent for preliminary tests. Now, most of us, that's immediately liminal. It's immediately like an ordeal and terrifying and disorienting. But it's also a place where possibilities lie. And what's gone out of modern culture, in my view, is this sort of opening to possible realities. And so as soon as someone says you may have whatever, we're immediately on Wikipedia looking at WebMD. But it might be more helpful if we were able to hold ourselves in possibility. Like, well, yeah, that's a possibility, but there's lots of other possibilities, and I could be open to all of them. Doesn't mean I won't go that direction, but it does mean, don't know. Maybe I should stay in don't know and do prayer, practice, work with my own energies to understand this place of pure potentiality. So there's that. And then, you know, let's say it's not a diagnosis, but it's like a total shift out of the blue. Boom, you're fired. Or boom, your relationship ends. Or boom, you're in retirement. Even though you saw it coming, you really didn't. I mean, you did, but you didn't. Any of those. There's this place, this liminal space, where every potential and possible reality lies. And so we learn in this philosophy to cultivate that space, to try to work with any discomfort we have, which we always do, and to begin to view ordeals in the context of a larger thing unfolding for us. And, you know, should I talk about death? I shouldn't talk about death, but I will talk about death at some point later. Not today, because I only have 20 minutes. But I will say this about that. Part of what keeps us from really exploring liminal space is that culturally, for most of us, we have been raised to fear death. We've been raised to fear it because it's an unknown. And also many of us were raised in pathways that didn't necessarily encourage us to think of death as a good thing. Not only the dying part, but many of us were raised to think that unless we were perfect and behaved ourselves in all the ways that other people thought we should, we were basically doomed after we die, right? And since we could never live up to that perfection, it was pretty certain that we were doomed. And so some of us, actually most of us in this room, if we were raised that way, went, well, okay, well, screw it. I can't be perfect. I'll just do what I want and see what happens. Okay, but enough of that. We'll talk about that later. So plan B has to do always with being open to B, C, D, E, the whole alphabet, being available to all possibilities. And to do that well, we have to have a very important commodity that is elusive. It's called faith. And it's elusive, And why is it elusive? Because it's something that most of us were not trained on how to get. And it actually turns out that faith is sort of like a muscle. And that the more we work it and work it more and more, the more it can be called upon in times of disorientation and difficulty. So faith is important. And if you're a thinking person, and I know you all are, you're going to ask the question, faith in what? And I don't know if you have the answer. But for me, I'll just tell you for me, and this is really just me, after all these years of spiritual practice and all these plan Bs happening, and C and D and F, there is no question in my mind that there is something greater operating. And it's operating for us as individuals, but it's also operating collectively. And I actually think that all the difficulties and the darkness and the shootings and all the horrifying, awful things that have been going on in our world are part of a collective rite of passage. And that we as a whole global community, as sacred humans together, are being asked to move to Plan B. And Plan B, being knocked off your axis. That there's part of us and part of sacred humans in the world that are going to cling to the old way as tightly as they can and try to make that the only way, because this is just to everything. So collectively, we're going through a rite of passage, in my view, and this is mirrored in the work of Michael Meade. And I was in a workshop with him yesterday, and he was talking about lame deer. Do you remember lame deer, some of you? If you haven't heard of him, he had a book written about him, I really should say it that way. And he, in the book, was speaking about his own rite of passage as a young man. He was 16. And in his indigenous culture, around that age, young men were invited into a rite of passage. And so in short form, I'll give you the short form, and a wise elder medicine man took him out into the wilderness and put him in a pit in the side of a hill. It wasn't glamorous at all. It was basically a pit, And he had no water and he had no food for 4 days and 4 nights. And he was naked. And it was cold. And so he was trembling. But he realized that some of it was cold, but some of it was that he had, for the first time in his life, been removed from the community of support that he had grown up in. No mother, no father, no cousins, nobody, just himself. And so he's terrified, he's scared. And so he's trembling with cold and fear. And all of a sudden he says, what happened to him was, in their language, it's called the Nagi. And the Nagi is the inner spirit, the spirit that holds nature, the spirit that holds all sacred humans, was in him. And the trembling stopped and the fear dropped away, and he realized he was not alone. He was not alone ever. And from there he went into a vision quest kind of experience of that determined for the rest of his life his path. So the Nagi, the indwelling spirit, the thing that is greater than us, that holds us, is something to develop trust in, faith in, to lean into. And it's always easier if you lean into it when things aren't hard. There's an old saying in India, it's too late to dig the well when the house is on fire. So I've taken that metaphor, that idea, and kind of went, I guess I'd better be doing my spiritual practices now so that when I get knocked off my axis, I've got some tools to connect me to something larger and ground me into my true self. So when we understand that actually being put into liminal space is actually a good thing, that we've been invited and asked to enter into a new way of being, sometimes only an internal way of seeing or knowing, sometimes a total change in the way we live and relate in the world. It's different every time. We can understand that the Nagi, the spirit, the place in us that is larger than us, that actually is holding us, has an intention for us. That it's not sort of a general kind of sweeping of a paintbrush over all of us, that actually intentionally this beingness, this spirit, this Nagi, has an individual purpose through each of us. And whenever I say that, I always wonder what you're thinking. Maybe you'll tell me one day. But what I think about that is that a lot of people would make the mistake of thinking that, this means I have to be like this grand, billboarded being doing important things in the world. And actually, that's not my sense of how this purpose works through us. And so I brought you something that some of you will be familiar with. It was written in 2020 during our wonderful COVID start by a woman that I deeply admire, a Jungian analyst and mythologist and storyteller named Clarissa Pinkola Estes. And she wrote a piece. It's an essay. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but live stream audience, they're going to post the link for you so that you can read the whole thing if you want. And it's called Do Not Lose Heart. We were made for these times. And maybe some of you have read it, right? But a lot of us haven't read the whole essay, and I encourage you to read the whole essay. But basically, I have heard from so many recently who are deeply and properly bewildered. They are concerned about the state of affairs in the world right now. And it's true, it takes great strength to withstand much of what passes for good in our culture today. Yet I urge you, ask you, gentle you, to please not spend your spirit dry by bewailing these difficult times. Especially, do not lose hope. Most particularly because the fact is, we were made for these times. I grew up on the Great Lakes, and I recognize a seaworthy vessel when I see one. Regarding awakened souls, there have never been more able crafts in the waters than there are right now across the world. And they are fully provisioned and able to signal one another as never before in the history of humankind. I would like to take your hands for a moment and assure you that you are built well for these times. Despite your stints of doubt, your frustrations in writing all that needs change, and even feeling you have lost the map entirely, You are not without resource. You are not alone. Look out over the prow. There are millions of boats, of righteous souls on the waters with you. In your deepest bones, you have always known this to be so. We have been in training for a dark time such as this since the day we ascended to come to earth. For many decades, worldwide souls just like us have come. Over and over again, we have been living proof that that which has been exiled, lost, or foundered can be restored to life again. This is as true and sturdy a prognosis for the destroyed worlds around us as it was for our own mortally wounded selves. And though we are not invulnerable, our risability supports us to laugh in the face of cynics who say, "Fat chance." This and our having been to hell and back on at least one momentous occasion makes us seasoned vessels for certain. Even if you don't feel that, you are. So in a dark time, there's a tendency to veer toward fainting over how much is wrong or unmended in the world. Don't focus on that. Don't make yourself ill with overwhelm. There is a tendency, too, to fall into being weakened by perseverating on what is outside your reach, by what cannot yet be. Don't focus there either. We are needed, and that's all we need to know. And though we meet resistance, we more so will meet great souls who will hail us, love us, and guide us, and we will know them when they appear. In the language of aviators and sailors, ours is to sail forward now. And one of the most important steps you can take to help calm the storms that surround us is to not allow yourself to be taken into the flurry of overwrought emotion or despair, therefore accidentally contributing to the swale and swirl. Ours is not the task to fix the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul, to assist some portion of this suffering world, will help more than you know, immensely. And this is the last one I'll read because it's my favorite part. It's a long essay. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, build signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire, to display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy toward others both. Both are acts of immense bravery and the greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this is one of the strongest things you can do. And so when you find yourself in liminal space, when things have not gone according to plan, look for the lights that surround you because they're there. And when you're with people that you know are suffering because they too have had their plans go awry, be the light so that we can all illumine the path before us and open to the great potential and possibility that is ours to have. So if you're in that space right now or you know someone, I'm going to do a prayer. And so if you know someone, just hold them in mind. And if you are in this space, please accept this prayer as my gift. Right here and right now, with the babies murmuring in the background, with the smell of rain in the air, I ground myself in this present moment and turn within to open to the presence of that beingness that knows me and is far more than my limited idea of who and what I am. This one contains the wisdom of all time. This one is love without boundary. And this one, moving in me, offers its wisdom and its love, supporting every step that I take in the liminal world. And as I move forward in this slushy, swishy place, betwixt and between, neither here nor there, I open to the vast possibility for my own life, that love and wisdom guide me and have always guided me. And I allow that love and wisdom to be a light, a lamp, showing me the next right step, pulling me forward even when I hesitate. And as I open and lean into that wisdom and love, it guides me steadily forward into a new expression, a new way of being, a new understanding. And I am grateful. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, it's 11:11. Make a wish. No. We are going to invite the ushers forward, and I want to thank you ahead of time for your support of the center monetarily. So many of you support in so many ways, and I'm very, very grateful. It is so incredibly wonderful to have a community like this.
Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Gonna climb this mountain, gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time, 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 one step at a time.
Thank you. Perfect song. Perfect song. Just a note before we go into our official announcements. Today is the last day to get your Gourmets for Good host forms in. And so if you would like to do that, the way to do that is to go to the CSL Bellingham website, and you'll see the form is there. Just click on that and fill it in today. We already have, I think, 14 or 15 offerings, so we're pretty excited about all those. And I know which ones I'm going to bid on because I got to see them. And I'll tell you more about that later. But right now, I'd like to tell you about what's happening in the coming times. First of all, today at noon, we're having our women's circle, and you are welcome. It's an open circle, meaning that we don't have a set group of women. We have women that are welcoming of new women and welcoming of the women that have been there always, and we are working with Plan B. So especially if you're in that space, you might want to come. Let's see what else. We have, starting tomorrow, a wonderful diversity and inclusion opportunity for study with the book My Grandmother's Hands, which works with trauma and how to move trauma through somatic means and understanding. So that starts at 6, and it's a Zoom experience taught by one of our practitioners, Francine Kitchen. And then we wanted to make you aware that there's a national prayer for the earth that is at noon across our country on Earth Day, which is April 22nd. And so I was mentioning last week, set your phone and just stop and do a prayer for the earth. What would you pray for? Someone said to me. And I said, well, it depends on, what your focus is. But for me, I would absolutely love the earth to be regenerated and the species of the earth to not only be saved, but be multiplied so that we have a very rich and beautiful earth forever and ever until the sun goes out. And then this one is really important because it's coming up this coming Earth Day on Saturday, and it's a fundraiser for the teen group. And Joe actually showed up yesterday to try it out. He was one of the experiment people. And he said he wouldn't tell me anything about it because I'm signed up. But he said, super fun, you're going to love it. And it's a really good thing that you do puzzles on a regular basis, because I guess they had to throw him quite a few hints. What I'd like you to know about this is the sign-up is at the Ask Me desk in the classroom, straight through that hallway. And there's a gap. So there's sign-ups in the morning and there's sign-ups in the afternoon, but in the late morning and early afternoon, there's still some spaces available. You don't have to have a team. You can just sign up as an individual, like Joe, just showing up. And every person that signs up and donates lets the teens get that much closer to their goal of going to camp this summer with the youth of CSL from around not only our country and Canada, but the world. We have centers in Kenya and South America and Central America, Mexico, and kids from all over tend to come to this camp. So they're trying to get there, and your help is much appreciated. Now, Yam and Jesse were at our spring retreat, and I also had the opportunity to sing with them the first time they offered this wonderful community song gathering. So it's coming up next Sunday from 6 to 7:30. Super, super simple songs that are the kind of songs that once you learn them are very wonderful to sing to yourself when you're going about your day. You don't have to have a voice. It's not complicated. It's actually call and response to learn the songs, which are usually, maybe like 4 lines. And it's an opportunity to be in community singing together. So you're more than welcome to come. They are operating on a donation basis, and we'd love you to be there. I'll be there. I had to miss the last one. And this one, let me read you the wonderful description. Radiant Healing Unlimited is a quiet space with 12 computers generating photons and scalar waves for your healing pleasure. This has led to different individuals who have told us that in one session they experienced no more incontinence, which had been a problem. 2 sessions, no more arthritis in their hips. 3 sessions, return of vision. And 10 sessions, significant healing of long COVID. And so why are we telling you about this? Because the folks that are running this are generously doing a half-price offer, and all the money goes to the center. And so the sign-up for this is, let's see, I think it might be on, it's in the Ask Me desk. Thank you, Kailash. And the suggested donation is $50 for an hour. You come, you meditate, no? $30 for an hour, and you come and you can meditate, you can read, you can sleep, and the healing energy is there for you. Kailash and Lori Heck are going to be in the classroom during the coffee hour. If you have any questions for them, they can answer more, but we'd love you to, if this is something that appeals to you, sign up and take advantage of this opportunity. Okay, and Carol, would you like to come up? This is Carol Stegman. a deep gratitude to Carol because she has been the creator of our Victory Garden for the food bank over these years.
Hi. Well, I'm so excited to invite you to our new Victory Garden workshop, which is going to be in 2 weeks on the 30th. And it'll be from noon to 3. And just to give you a little bit of information, this small garden that we have back there produces about 300 to 400 pounds of organic food that we donate to the Bellingham Food Bank. And it's so easy for us to do this method, is why we do this method, is that on one day, and this year it's going to be April 30th, we all get together and we layer the beds. This is the method of sheet composting. It involves no digging. It's just layering the beds and planting directly into it. And it's a method that you'll learn, and everybody who comes will be able to take home an information packet that they can use to build their own lasagna beds, which many people in our community have done. In fact, it's become one person who came to our workshop about 7 years ago, put it into action, and is doing a big speech on Tuesday at the Toastmasters about how he built 11 lasagna bed gardens throughout the North community in Blaine and Birch Bay by using the technique he used here. So I welcome you to come. There's going to be sign-up sheets right now at the Ask Me desk. I'd love if you could sign in if you're interested, and especially if you're coming, and leave me your email and your phone number. And then we have another list of supplies needed. It doesn't cost anything to come and participate, but if you're able to provide something on our supplies list, it makes it much more efficient for us. So come talk to me at the Ask Me desk, and I hope to see you all there. Thanks.
And last but not least, these teens, boy, they need to go to camp. And so Jean, who's one of our board members and also just an incredible person, is going to tell you about another fundraiser that we're having in May for them because they have to have the money in May.
So Robin Stewart, Kendra Wagner, and I are looking for 40 hungry people to come to a tea to benefit our teams and their trips to camp. On Saturday, May 6th, the day of the coronation, we're having an English high tea, and we would love for you to sign up. We're going to serve 3 courses, both gluten-free and gluten-full. It is kid-friendly. I'm bringing my adorable granddaughter who has requested a new party dress. So you can sign up online or at the Ask Me desk. I'll be there today. We do need a couple of bakers to help Robin on Thursday, May 4th in Ferndale, and me, May 5th in Sudden Valley. I'll be making all the gluten-free food. And we have table hosts just like we do at the Harvest Dinner. So if you're a table host, would you please stand up? Let us know who you are. Shelley's here, Poppy Stewart, Kendra Wagner, me, Andrea, Zena.
Actually, Joe's doing it.
Joe, it's not for women only. Anyway, we'll have 8 tables of 6 people, and we hope to see you there. Thank you. I direct your attention to the poster that Robin had made to get you excited about this event.
Okay, I think that's it. So why don't we stand and we will sing our way into this beautiful day or into coffee.
I am blessed, I am blessed, every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 when I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest. I am blessed, I am blessed, I am free, I am free, I am free, oh yes, I'm free. Every day of my life, I am free, 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 free. When I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest, I am free, I am free, I am blessed. Let's sing it out today. I I am blessed. I am blessed. Yeah, we're blessed every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest, I am blessed. 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 One more time. I am blessed. I am blessed. You all have a blessed week, and we'll see you again soon.